Hey guys, I'm gonna let a few more people get in here. I see a bunch of people in the comments, but it shows like one person's watching. That doesn't make any sense. Patty, hi. Patty grabbed the link. That's awesome. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Is this not long overdue? Doing a live with all of us about Breasia? Yep, Keandra, you are blocked on Facebook. Hi, Aggie, my friend. Hi, Maddie. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Janie. Hi, Kane. Brandy. Hi, Amber. Hi, Patty. Hi, Terry. Hi, RC. Keandra is what blank? Is what blank? Oh, so the chat's back? Good. I didn't know there was a problem. Okay, so there's a few people in here that aren't familiar with the case of Breasia. And guys, as usual, if I mess something up, correct me. You know, you can message me, you can text me, comments, whatever. But as of Saturday, she hasn't been with us for a year. She went missing on July 10th, possibly July 9th. For the better part of a year, there was constant speculation, rumors, theories that she had been trafficked. Different states were mentioned, even that she could be in Mexico. Her mother fueled these rumors, believe it or not. She said that she was living in a white house with a white man. So it just went on and on and on and on. Her remains were found, and her ex-stepfather has been charged with her murder. If you read the timeline that was finally released, it explains a lot. And in cases like this, especially when a child's concerned, because tensions are high, man, we're all wanting something done. We want justice. Why law enforcement can't be a little more transparent? I'm not saying get on the 5 o'clock news every day and read us the latest notes in the case file. But there's, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with sharing enough information to quell the public's suspicions and what they're thinking. The way crime was handled years ago, this is apples and oranges, but like, look at the O.J. Simpson case. I mean, they released that they had a glove. They released that the two bodies were found outside the house. They released a lot of stuff where you could kind of put the picture together and nobody was scratching their head going, I wonder what happened. You know, same with Casey Anthony. They played Cindy Anthony's 911 call over and over and over again. You heard that, her saying, I opened the trunk. It smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car. Then they're showing pictures on the national news of Casey Anthony partying and getting tattoos. So we're not scratching our heads anymore. We're pretty much sure that Casey killed her. But now it's different. And they blame it on social media. And social media wouldn't be such a problem if they were a little more transparent. But now the two cases I just gave you didn't quite go their way. That could be part of it. Aisha should be charged past due. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So on one hand, law enforcement is, constantly saying, social media is getting in the way. People are calling with rumors and stuff like that. There wouldn't be rumors and stuff if you just kind of put it in a nutshell of give us the gist, just give us the gist. It was pretty clear Deankins was involved because he's been sitting in jail since July. But there's 2, possibly 3 women that I believe knew he was a sex offender and had no issues letting Breasia be with him. Be alone with him picking her up in the car, at the apartment. I don't know why there are not charges on Aisha and Andrea and possibly Donita. Because I'm not sure who gave the permission for Breasia to go with him. All right, so after months and months and months, like I said, of all of us thinking that she was not so much deceased, because a lot of people refuse to believe it, we were really thinking that she was on the run with somebody. She'd been given to someone. She had been kidnapped in that sense, like that Elizabeth Smart sense, like she was off somewhere. So this is what the police chief told us.
Good morning, everybody. Today we'd like to update our community on the Breasia Terrell case. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our Scott County Attorney, Mike Walton.
This morning, Henry Earl Dinkins was charged in the death of 11-year-old Breasia Terrell. These charges are the result of a 9-month investigation by the Danforth Police Department and numerous other agencies. Captain Biggs is going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. Because it is a pending case, we cannot talk about the results of the investigation in detail. The charging documents are public record, and they read as follows. Murder first degree. On or about July 10th, 2020, Henry Dinkins did remove and confine a child, BT, from 2744 East 53rd Street, Davenport, Iowa, and with premeditation, malice aforethought, and intent to kill BT, shot her with a firearm, causing her death. Kidnapping first degree. On or about July 10th, 2020, Henry Dinkins did remove a child, BT, from 2744 East 53rd Street, Davenport, Iowa, without consent or authority, or by deception, secretly confine and inflict serious injury, and as a result of the kidnapping, BT was murdered. While announcing charges is a significant step in this case, it's important to understand that bringing forth charges is not the end of the legal process, but just the beginning. The case will now proceed to court. This time, Captain Brent Biggs is going to talk a little bit about the investigation.
Good morning. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out this morning. I'd like to begin by thanking our partner agencies who have assisted us from the beginning of this investigation, and the support continues as we work towards successful prosecution. The Iowa Department of Criminal Investigation, criminalists and evidence technicians of the Iowa Crime Lab, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Scott County Sheriff's Office, Clinton County Sheriff's Office, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Family Resources, who have provided valuable victim support to not only Breasia's family, but also to the community at large, while we try to process this tragedy. In addition, I'd like to acknowledge over 20 other public safety agencies that assisted us in 2 large-scale search operations in Clinton County and in Scott. Since Breasia was reported missing, the outpouring of support from our community has been overwhelming. Community members have spent hundreds of hours searching alongside law enforcement on their own, looking for Breasia in Scott County. And we appreciate all the tips that our community has provided to our investigators so that they were able to follow up on. I would also like to acknowledge Breasia's mother, Aisha Levin. She has been supportive and cooperative with our investigators this entire time. We cannot imagine the grief and pain she must experience, and our thoughts and our prayers remain with her and Breasia's family. In past media updates, we had always provided that there was a dedicated team of investigators that continued to the ongoing investigation, but also were dedicated to Breasia. I would like to recognize our investigators that stand up here with me today for their tireless and diligent work over the past 10 months. This case has been very difficult and has been very hard on them, both professionally and personally. And if it weren't for them, we would not be able to stand here in front of you today to bring forth charges. Every day they come into work and they deal with the worst of humanity that they drive on to support and look out for the most vulnerable among us. And their work greatly matters. So it is my honor to present to you Lieutenant Kyle Chisholm, who is the Deputy Division Commander of the Criminal Investigation Division. He oversees all major cases.
Okay, I stopped it right there. You get the gist. We don't need an award ceremony for what a great job they had been doing the whole time. And I have, nothing but love for law enforcement, okay? Not going there. But with the evidence that they had and the warrants they served on July 10th, there was no reason, not that I'm law enforcement, okay? Again, we're discussing that they would wait until May to charge him with anything. Hi, Bree. And I miss Stevie too. Hi, Stevie. So why let us all sit there thinking she's been trafficked and everything? Why let us even think all that stuff? It's insane. Keandra, I'm going there. Law enforcement and the QC is sketchy. All right, I'm going to put the link up real quick. Keandra, if you want to grab that link. Yeah, I mean, the chief of police, Just Me. Oh, hi, Just Me. What I couldn't get over was when he announced that it was actually Breasia's remains. you know, this man was crumbling. You know, you could tell he was really, really upset. And then they do this announcing murder charges, and it was just so matter of fact. Hi, Keandra.
Hey, y'all.
Hi, everybody. Everybody.
One moment. I got to pause myself for a sec. Okay, I'm here.
Is that your TV or what?
No, just family came over.
Oh, I got you.
I'm good now.
Okay,
Hey, everybody.
So Deankins, by the way, everybody, Keandra's not on Facebook anymore. She's going to be doing lives on here, and she's getting her own channel.
Yeah, I'm gone permanently off Facebook.
You know what? And count yourself lucky.
Yeah, I really don't care for Facebook anymore.
It's because, I mean, they're private groups. You're not getting the word out about Breasia in a private group.
Exactly. I'm like, why keep it private if we're all trying to help?
I mean, I agree with having private groups. I do.
I know, but I'm talking about not letting us in the groups that are currently still, going on.
Oh, yeah. I don't agree with that at all. Because if you're in this group, you can't be in this group. I hate that. I hate that stuff. So Deankin's trial is February 14th. Okay, the last I heard when I called, it's open to the public. So I'm really hoping someone there can go to the trial and get some notes, because they're going to let all the information out.
Okay, but is it open meaning go to the courthouse, or is it via video?
I wish. No, you got to go there.
Okay.
Because I want to see if Aisha's there, if her mom is there. I mean, I don't see Andrea going. And by the way, Andrea is his girlfriend, guys. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the case, Andrea is his girlfriend.
Yeah, I was told she was his pocketbook.
She didn't. Okay. She didn't bail him out.
A lot of stories are going around.
Uh-huh. Okay, Stevie said she's going to try to be there. She hopes it's a video like Molly Tibbetts' trial was. Yeah, because I want to hear every detail. Because when this article came out, it blew my mind. I'm going to put it up real quick and we'll go through it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's Aisha right there. All right. Breasia Terrell, 10, vanished from a Davenport apartment nearly a year ago. And that was the Jersey Meadows, correct?
Yes.
Remains of her body were discovered in a DeWitt pond in March, and Henry Deankins, 48, of Davenport, was charged with her kidnapping and murder by early May. So I'm going to skip through some of this because we know. Oh, this right here. Deankins, the father of Breasia's 8-year-old half-brother, called 911 the morning of July 10th, 2020 to report Breasia missing. Now, hang on. I was told Aisha called.
Me too. She said it herself.
Yes, she did.
I got all the videos. I got everything. She said it herself. She said she called 911.
Not according to the police reports. And all of that, for anyone that wants to jump up saying, oh, well, they get it wrong all the time. No, this is official court documents. This is going in front of a judge and a jury.
Yeah,
this is recorded.
I don't know. Deep down, I've always felt like that's why the police said she wasn't cooperating. She wasn't listening to them. She wasn't listening to what they were telling her to do. That's why when she did that interview after the cop said it was going to come out later, they were like, how do you feel about what he said? You weren't participating. She was like, what the hell is he talking about? I've been listening. That's what she said. She says, I've been listening. So you got to listen to them. What are they telling you to do? I feel like she's been mixing this story up, and that's what pissed them off. Pissed them off because it's so many different stories. She's jumbling everywhere, and she's making it hard for them to put it together. I don't know. I simply always felt like she just hasn't been listening to their instructions.
Keandra, somebody has a question for you in comments. It's RC.
Okay, one second.
Is Keandra involved with the case at all?
Where is it? Is who involved with it? Am I involved with the case? Sorry, I haven't been following the case. I don't know much. I know Aisha. My family used to babysit her kids. I just know the family, and I'm all for Breasia's justice. I don't like what happened to her. And I'm here. I ain't went nowhere. And I was attacked by Breasia's mother. It's just been a whole situation since Breasia went missing, and they're trying to get me to stop, but I'm not gonna stop. I am blocked from Facebook though, but I'm here. That's how I'm involved. At July 10th, when I found out Breasia was missing, I inboxed her mother. I know her mother.
Just one second. Brianna has a question. She said, where did this happen? That was when they did the walk for Breasia. It's kind of like what you went through, Brianna, but it was Breasia's mother that attacked her.
Yeah, right after the walk, she showed up at my sister's house, and she brought a bunch of men, and it was on from there.
All right, I'm going to get back to this timeline real quick. Hang on.
Yeah.
He told dispatcher she was missing from his apartment when he woke up and that she had never run away or been in trouble. I'm telling you, this was planned, Keandra.
Yeah, but how did, okay, so that article says he told the dispatcher she was gone when he woke up. That's what Aisha said too outside of the courthouse in an interview.
Uh-huh.
She said, he said she was gone when he woke up. That's what she said. And I believe, I don't know. It's too many stories out, man. It's too many stories.
Well, I think when it goes to court, all they're going to go off of is the official record and not what everyone else has been saying. Because for some reason, Aisha was trying to be the hero in this. And
but the official record should match up with what Aisha's saying. And if it doesn't, she needs to be in jail. Because why are you saying all this off the wall stuff and you're so innocent? Why are you mixing all these stories up? You should have been in jail.
It says Deankin's son and Breasia were to spend the night. And if anyone didn't catch it before, Deankin's son is Breasia's half-brother. Were to spend the night in the apartment the night the girl disappeared. Deankin's girlfriend, Andrea Culberson, was there too. A crime. She opened up her house and she let him have 2 children around, knowing he's a sex offender. Culberson told investigators that 3 were in the apartment when Culberson fell asleep. Oh, that the 3. This article, I picked this one out because it had a little more detail, but they didn't spell check it or something like that, right? When Culberson fell asleep between 11 p.m. and midnight, she woke up around 3 a.m. and found Deankin's and Breasia gone. Okay, so now we get to all the surveillance. Now,
was the son with them?
Yes, he was. He actually gave an interview. He's the one that told them about the machete and everything like that. So
they should have interviewed. When did they interview him though? At the beginning or late?
I don't think we're going to know that until the trial. I don't think, and I have a feeling, I wonder if they're going to make him get on the stand because he was on this devil's errand with his daddy. He was there for the whole thing. He was there. Don't tell
And
me he didn't know what that axe was used for, that machete. He didn't hear a gunshot. Don't tell me.
look, so I don't know if he's still with Aisha, but he's going through it too, because a neighbor of hers got a hold of me, someone that lives in her area, and she was out looking for her son not too long ago because he ran off screaming he was sorry. And they said she was outside screaming his name, looking for him, and then drove off, found him, and brought him home.
Yeah, I did hear about that too. No, Stevie, he's not. He's got a public defender, I believe, unless Andrea got him an attorney.
And no, he doesn't have an attorney. He does have a public defender, but they keep dropping off of the case. He has to keep getting new ones. They're trying to get him an attorney, but they're dropping like flies. Like, he keeps getting new one after new one. Like, they don't want to represent him.
Nasty.
And yes, Breasia did go with Henry often. Aisha has lived with my family before. They've seen Henry around. I didn't know Henry. I know his sister and her kids, but I never knew Henry. But he was always around. And she even says it herself. He's not a stranger. He's been around often. He's always around.
Obviously so. They have a child together.
Exactly. And they've been messing around.
And look at his age and look at Aisha.
Yeah, they've been messing around since she was under 18, I believe. She's been dealing with him for a while.
Okay, so now we get to the surveillance video. Surveillance video from those hours show a red Chevy Impala matching the description of a car that Deankins was known to have access to. He drove to and from a motorhome on Schmidt Road in Davenport. The motorhome is registered to Deankins' sister and is the address he used on a sex offender registry. Did the sister know he was using the address on a sex offender registry? And whose car? They said he has access to it. Okay, so, when you're a sex offender, you got to tell him everything. You got to tell him where you can live, supposedly I thought he used the address of a storage unit. That's not true. See, again, all of these rumors.
Wait, how is it a rumor if they put that in the newspaper? His last known address was on Smith Road his RV was parked in the back of that storage unit.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, yeah, because obviously your address can't be the RV. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, and right after the searches and all that, they tore down a big barn-looking thing behind that storage unit. They shouldn't have touched nothing if it's an ongoing investigation. You can't tell us nothing because it's an ongoing investigation, but you guys can knock down the building that Henry's RV was parked next to.
Right.
We don't know what went on in that building. Why was that knocked down?
No, you're right.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
So the Impala went to the trailer at 2:13 a.m., then left and headed south at 2:29 a.m. The car returned at 2:31 a.m. and left again, heading to Credit Island at 2:49 a.m. So what the hell was he doing? 2:13 a.m. and then he's heading to Credit Island at 2:49 a.m. Is he looking for somewhere to put her body? Because by that time, I'm pretty sure it was done.
I have a question. I want to know, how do you get to the back of the storage unit? Do you go through the storage unit? Because doesn't someone need to be there?
Well, I mean, I think that if you're renting a storage unit there, or you're renting a space to, store your car, your RV or something, you have access to get into it anytime.
It really seemed like he was the only one using it. I called to see if I could get a storage, and he pointed me a different way.
His sister must have given him her access code, or however they do it. Sometimes people have cards they can swipe. Sometimes some of them, the older ones, still have keys.
Okay.
All right. So Culberson said she tried to call Deankins at 3 a.m., but he left his cell phone in the apartment. Now, I heard something months ago. Actually, I mean, gosh, like August, September, where supposedly Andrea was saying she talked to him at 3 a.m. So I'm assuming by this time, Breasia's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Because at 3:31 a.m., Deankins is seen getting out of the Impala on a surveillance camera at a quick shop. The car was also seen on multiple surveillance cameras early that morning, heading north to Clinton County and within the city limits of Clinton. At 7:04 a.m., Deankins was shown on a store surveillance video buying 2 bottles of bleach at a Walmart in Clinton, Iowa, leaving the store at 7:09 a.m. Well, he got the hell out of there. Who can get in and out of Walmart in 5 minutes?
That's what I want to know. And them cameras at Walmart can zoom all the way up to your nose hairs. So they could zoom in and listen to him too. Look at his phone, all that. If he had his phone in his hand, like they could really monitor that whole 3 minutes instead of just seeing him buying bleach. And it's a pandemic, so like everybody's buying bleach at this time. You know,
listen to this. A little after 7 a.m., Culberson texted Deankins asking where he was. Why would she text him when she realized at 3 a.m. he didn't have his phone?
True, but they also said they found multiple phones.
True. Yeah, that's true. So which phone did she text? Did she know that he had bought 2 other phones? I don't know.
She didn't want to mention it. She didn't want to say, I text his other phone. That's why it sounds so stupid. How are you texting his phone and you said he left his phone? But you said you text his phone because he got another phone. But you didn't mention that. That's what it sounds like.
He came home later that morning, picked up his cell phone and left, saying he was going to look for Breasia. He called 911 sometime in the morning of July 10th, and at noon arrived at the police station in the Impala. Okay, so he gets there a little after 7 a.m. Well, we know he left the Walmart at 7:09. And then how did Andrea not realize? I mean, she's telling police when she went to bed, the 3 of them were there. At 3 a.m., no one's there. But Breasia's the only one missing?
They're all missing. Why would you say she's missing if they're all not there? You don't know if she's missing.
And so he voluntarily went to the police station at noon? He goes to all of this, but he drives down in the car he had Breasia in all night and just drives down there?
True.
Not to mention he had his son with him to witness all of this.
Back to the Walmart thing. Henry's a big guy. The bleach is in the back. I know it takes me a minute to get to the back. 3 minutes to go to the back, come back to the front, pay for it.
I don't know what time he walked in there. It just, the surveillance camera shows him at 7:04 getting the 2 bottles, and then I guess he hightailed it to check out. But hey, when someone's on a mission, they're on a mission.
True.
So here's the search warrants that all went down on July 10th. A warrant to search Deankin's cell phone, a black Samsung phone, was signed by a judge at 1:15 p.m. So that's like barely over an hour when he got to the police station. A warrant to search the motorhome was signed 2:21 p.m. A warrant requesting DNA swabs from Deankin's mouth and under his fingernails and pictures of Deankin's body was at 5:26 p.m. A search warrant requesting penal swabs from Deankin's was signed at 6:53 p.m. Well, we know what that means.
True.
And that's going to come out in trial. At some point, July 10th, a search warrant was executed on Deankins and Paula. So,
all this the same day she went missing.
same day. And
but you couldn't put an Amber Alert out.
No, why did they even have an Amber Alert when they had all of this? Unless they honestly thought she wasn't dead.
All this, oh my gosh.
That's why they took it back.
That's why they took the Amber Alert back. They're confused. They're trying to come up with a strategy. Didn't I just tell you during that interview? I'm sorry. I don't know how everybody feels about law enforcement, but I watch these interviews so many times and find something new. That man said, he said, process this strategy. He went to say strategy. It seemed like he was talking to all the people involved in helping find Breasia, not the community, the agencies. And then he said, process this tragedy. Like, I feel like they're trying to process this strategy and not tragedy, strategy.
Well, they've got a lot of warrants and they've got a lot of proof. They all point to Deankins. He was the one gone all night on surveillance camera. You know, they've got, they've done all this. I mean, this is nuts. Okay. Davenport police found a black digital scale with marijuana residue and 0.6 grams of a pink powder that tested positive for cocaine in the motorhome, and an axe and cleaning supplies in the trunk of the Impala. Who buys bleach at 7 a.m. after you've been gone all night?
He'd have had, if it was planned, he'd have had it, right? Why would he have to go to Walmart?
Yeah. Blue light shown on the axe showed what officers believed to be blood. So there's blood on the axe.
They believe to be. Is it blood or not?
Well, we're not going to know that till trial. They're not going to do that.
Okay.
I mean, they're not going to do all that unless, if they think it's mud, they're not going to mess with it.
Okay.
Deankin's 8-year-old son, Breasia's half-brother, told police he went to Credit Island with his dad the morning of July 10th. They also went to the motorhome where his dad pulled out a big knife and wiped it down with bleach. He then put the knife in the trunk of the Impala and the pair returned to the trailer. Nearby video verified the boy was with Deankins at the trailer. With that confirmed, police sought a second warrant on the motorhome and found a machete on top of the refrigerator that matched the description the boy had given. Other warrants conducted later included a warrant to retrieve DNA samples from several white T-shirts with possible bloodstains found in a black Dodge Challenger pulled over for unrelated reasons. Who drives a black Dodge Challenger? This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Black Dodge Challenger.
That's one of his cars.
I thought that was one of his cars.
I like I said, in a year, I've never heard about a black Dodge Challenger.
I thought they had that car. He got way more cars than those three.
Well, but the black Dodge Challenger was pulled over.
Who was in it?
I don't know. That's why I'm hoping somebody goes to trial and watches this in February. Warrants also were sent to the company that owns Google requesting GPS information to locate 2 Moto E60 phones because 2 empty phone boxes have been found in the Impala. See, this was planned. I know he's a drug dealer and stuff. So, obviously he needs more than one phone, if you know what I mean. But come on. He had the boxes right there with him. So that
didn't do it. He didn't do it alone.
Yeah. So who's he communicating with?
He didn't do it alone. That's why.
I really want to know who he's communicating with. And I almost wonder if they moved his trial from July to February because now they're honing in on other people.
Well, in that interview with the one you just played, he said community at large. So I'm guessing, because the community is not at large, I'm guessing it's people in the community that are still at large. That's what he meant. Because he said community at large. You know what at large means? Like, why would he use that together? And the community is the one that has been doing searches and all that. So the at large, I'm thinking, if there are other people involved.
Mm-hmm.
They're just at large. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know why he would say that. He said a few things that just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, me too. So it says the Dodge Challenger was searched in late July 2020 and the Google warrants were answered in September. Guys, everyone talks about Facebook. Let me tell you what, Google is big brother. Anything you do, Google tracks, okay? Anything you search, any email, any social media, anytime when it says, deny or allow access, that's all Google. Google is basically the government.
Pretty much.
And that's no shit, not lying to you. And it takes them a long time, sometimes, to get back with law enforcement. In this case, the Google warrant was the first to include information about Deankin's whereabouts on the night of July 9th through the 10th. But they didn't get
Google warrant?
Back.
Damn.
But they didn't get it back to them until September. And when you get those results from Google, it's kind of how they put together the Chad and Lori Daybell case. They had the Google searches and the pings, and it's what led them to find the kids, Tylee and JJ. Deankins was arrested July 11th for a sex offender violation and publicly named a person of interest in Breasia's disappearance July 14th. So I'm glad they arrested him and they kept him put away. But without the Google evidence, I guess they arrested him on the sex offender thing. But I'm wondering why they called him a person of interest on July 14th when they didn't have all this information back from Google.
But this is what I don't get. They knew Henry was a sex offender. Davenport is small. Everyone knew Henry was a sex offender. They knew where he was. They know where he be at. They could have been picked him up for that. Why did it take for Breasia to go missing for them to arrest him for being a sex offender? Henry is not hard to find. I mean, for being not registered. You knew what his address was, a storage unit. You knew he stayed in an RV. You know what? You know that's weird. A storage unit with an RV in the back and Henry Deankins lives in it. And if he doesn't live in it, you guys can check like you're supposed to. If he doesn't live in it, he lives in somewhere. You got to find out. You got to find him. You guys should have been on your job.
He's not hard to recognize. My God, look at him.
Exactly. You got to look for a mole.
On March 22nd, 2 fishermen found Breasia's remains in a Clinton County pond. Davenport police confirmed the remains of Breasia at a news conference March 31st. On May 5th, Deankins was charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping. So they're saying intent, okay? They're saying intent. They're saying he planned it.
Where's the crime scene? Where's the crime scene photos? Where's the crime scene? Where's the gun?
We won't know that till trial.
I know.
I don't know. I remember the little boy. They were saying that the little boy said he was sleeping, and that his dad walked to the pond with Breasia and came back without her. But where was that story even from? I know it was been in several groups. Was that something Aisha said that he said? Because it wasn't in any newspaper articles. See, there's
That
been
he was
some
sleeping?
rumor that he was sleeping, yeah, and that his dad took Breasia to a pond. They were going fishing at night or something. Remember that story? And that his
Yeah,
dad
that
came
was
out
the
with
beginning. That was dang. I got screenshots. I gotta go back to them. That was, I remember that. That was what we were all going off of from the beginning. And it switched to people's, it just switched. What was the first switch? I always believed the first story though, because for it to switch, that means someone's trying to throw us off. So I was just like, I believe Credit Island, like, I believe that story. Like, and then they went to Mother Goose. What Mother Goose? Someone said Mother Goose. I'm never gonna forget that.
Well, explain what Mother Goose is for the people in here that aren't from Davenport.
Well, they went to the park, Mother Goose Park. There's a park in Davenport. It's a zoo. It used to be a zoo. But Mother Goose to me made me think of a female. And or a landmark. I just don't know where that came from. And I just feel like that Mother Goose, like I feel like that is something important. You know, I'll never forget that. Like I always think about like what could that have been? Like they went to the park, searched the park, nothing there. They're all sitting in there and I'm just like maybe that was to deter people from Credit Island. I don't know. I grew up in Davenport from like 8th grade, and I was told that Credit Island is where they isn't a good park. It's not a good park. It has a bad history. And I don't know. I just always felt like Credit Island and that Mother Goose Mother Goose was really like a person. I don't know.
Well, a lot of people say it's KT.
Yeah.
I'm using initials.
Yeah. I'll
Just
use
me,
initials
Breeze's
too.
brother, I believe, is 8.
Yeah. And KT, I only really start, paying attention to that person because they were just loud. And then after I was attacked, me and my sister, I found out that her son was there. So then now I really start looking at this person. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's your son. I'm like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Like, who are you? And come to find out, she told everybody who she was herself. She was on a live on YouTube and she knew it was going. And she just explained how she's a pimp and she owns over 20 women. And she was on a search for Breasia while she's saying this. And I'm just like, who? Like, this is all wrong. Like, this is just weird. This is just weird. You got an RV. Henry got an RV. You travel around and you post missing kids, but you sell women. Something wrong with you.
Didn't she have some mechanical issues when she was there and Breasia went missing?
Yeah, the day Breasia went missing, she bought new tires. Like the day before, she bought new tires. She was in the Quad Cities. She made a post that said she just bought 4 new tires and she had a bad one. And I'm just like, now that, like, everything just, like, if you just think, like, and put stuff together, like, it only makes sense. And then someone spoke with KT, and she starts saying, I don't know if she was trying to throw this person off or what, but she mentioned Florida and that she was, she got truckers and a lot of people involved searching. Aisha sent her to Florida to look. It's snowboard season when the rich man wants to buy kids. Just all types of stuff. And I'm just, it's just like, what is really going on? Like, what type of involvement do you have in this? Like, and then her own children, her child is selling herself for the low. $20 a year. She got it up on what's them OnlyFans and Snapchat and all that. And she just turned 18, I believe.
$20 a year?
Yeah, it said $20 a year. I'm like, whoa.
Even my old ass could do better than that. Good God.
Oh, Lord. I'm like, come on, Lord. You need to save these children. It's some sick people in this world. Sick. Like when I went on Aisha's TikTok, she was following sex offenders. Old, ugly sex offenders. Saying that they're sick in the head. They said, the man said, if you're following me, I'm sick in the head. And he has a TikTok. And so I looked through TikTok, who he was following. And he's following a lot of women with mental issues. And it's sick. Like, why do you have a TikTok? Why doesn't Breasia have TikToks on here since you're talking about TikTok the entire interview? You heard TikTok. You deleted her off all your social media. You deleted Facebook. Like, all this is right in your face. It's telling, it just points fingers at who is involved. And I don't understand why she's not in jail. All this suspicious activity. You caught so many tickets and you attack people. Not only me, other people got attacked. I don't even want to say attack. She wanted to attack me because she didn't attack me. She wanted to. She was there to do it.
We'll get to that in a minute. All right, so even though Aisha's telling people she knows her daughter's going to come back to her, she's missing. She's like, all of these people are searching for her. She believed that she is going to come back to her. That's what she said. But she does a balloon release.
Yeah. That was the weird thing right there.
Hold on just a moment.
And a candlelight. With bottles of Hennessy. She did one in Muscatine too.
It's to show my love back to the community that I appreciate every last one of you guys taking time out, putting money up for my baby. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are, some people are taking off work, some people are coming from other places coming to help me. You know what I mean? Most of you guys out here don't even know me. But I love each and every last one of you guys out here because you guys took your time to actually help me. And I mean, it doesn't end. It doesn't end from here. I mean, I want to show so much love, and I want to make sure that Bree name is going to be heard. I want to make sure that when whoever has my baby, when they go to sleep, they see her. You're going to see her everywhere, and I won't stop at nothing. You're going to see a picture everywhere. You're going to see it on the news. You're going to see me everywhere. Even if I have to go viral on many other places, you guys are going to see her. You guys are going to see Breasia Terrell in many other places instead of these t-shirts. I'm going to make it be known until my baby's home. I mean, we have no lead. These amazing officers over here. I mean, they're.
How much did they sell the t-shirts for?
Like $20. You hear me?
Yeah. I just always thought that was odd at the balloon release, which is normally something you do. Like, okay, so like when my brother-in-law died, we released balloons like a year later. You know, candlelight is something you do for someone missing.
Yeah, but while you're searching, I'm not going to stop a search for my 10-year-old daughter.
To release a bunch of goddamn balloons at the Hy-Vee.
To go to the dollar store. To go to the dollar store and wait until these balloons get blew up to release them. I'm going to be out every day, all day. I'm out. The police are going to be sick of me. Like
or I'm going to sit at home and wait on my child to return, but I'm not going to shut off my phone. I'm not going to change my phone number. I'm not going to shut down my social media or any of the things that she did.
Exactly. I asked her, I'm like, did you delete me? I'm like, did you unfriend me? She said, I'm unfriending everyone trying to befriend me during the missing time of my daughter. I said, missing time of my daughter. So this is the time she was supposed to go missing? Like, what? You're supposed to be trying to have as many people helping you as possible. My little sister called me and told me she's missing. And the first thing I did was inbox Aisha like, yo, what do you need? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, what can everyone do to help you?
Exactly. Do you know that Nora Giles, she did a interview with her. And
Vera is a super nice lady.
Yes.
And she was being as supportive as possible. And later, Aisha just like lashed out at her. Is the screen blurry?
Yeah. She asked her a question. She said she asked her, she was just like, let's get the story, you know, everyone doesn't know what happened. And she started asking her questions. She was like, I'm not about to talk about this right now. I'm sorry to cut you short. Like, she got smart. Like, she got tough. Like, I'm like, whoa. And Vera was like, what can we do to help? She was like, what do you mean by help? What do you mean? What do I mean? Help. What help do you need? Ain't your daughter missing? Why are you asking these stupid questions? People want to help you. You don't want the help. That's the problem. You know what happened. You want it to die down. You don't want people to be.
Just me is saying that the screen is blurry. Mine's clear. Can everyone else see?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, I'm going to finish this video real quick. Maddie, at Just Me, that to me earlier. I don't know. It would have to be StreamYard. I don't know.
See everything clear.
They're getting ate up and beaten up. They're getting leads that, that's not even getting them anywhere. I mean, I most definitely thank them. Even when I thought that I couldn't even make it out here.
That part right there.
I collapsed a couple times, like, you know what I mean, with so many tears. And they lifted me like, just saying it's okay. You can't always go by what someone else is saying. Just, listen to your heart. And I'm listening, and that's why I'm out here. These candles aren't lit to tell my baby, oh, well, there's a slight chance that it may be a death. I'm telling my baby, your mama's out here. You got a whole community behind you. And we're not going nowhere. And we don't always be there. And wherever she's at.
But one thing I can say, the beauty of this situation is every single last person in the community.
Hello?
But she did go somewhere. Aisha did, because somehow she put it together in her head that Breasia's not coming back, because just a month later, after she shared the GoFundMe money, after she got that crochet thing done in her hair, she was twerking at the club.
Exactly.
We have several
Exactly.
videos of that. I mean,
And they were,
she was
and the
partying
cousin that,
hard.
and the cousin that was just talking, she said she wasn't gonna stop. She wasn't gonna stop going hard for Breasia. She wasn't gonna stop searching. They stopped. I asked them, "Are y'all still looking for Breasia?" She told me she was gonna call the police and put her lawyer on me. I'm like, dang. And I want to go back to that part. Aisha was like, they got leads that aren't even getting them anywhere. I really thank them. What do you mean leads that aren't getting them anywhere? You thank them for, like, I would be pissed that the leads aren't getting them nowhere. I feel like the leads they got were like people were intercepting leads. People were intercepting tips and all that. Getting people to call them and let them know what the tip is before it gets to the FBI or the police. And a lot, and it's a few people involved in that'll shock you. Putting their number up on Facebook saying call me if you get a lead, if you get a tip, and I'll call the FBI or I'll call the police. And people were really doing it.
They really were.
And it's people offering money for information that'll help find Breasia. How are you intercepting? How are you the middleman in tips?
And why was she, like, she's saying there's no leads? Her ex-husband was in jail.
Exactly.
I read all of the warrants that they got the day. He called around 10 a.m. saying Breasia was missing. He drove his fat ass down there at noon in the Impala he kidnapped her in because he's a goddamn genius. And they just started handing out warrants like they were candy on Halloween.
I want to know why somebody in his family told me he turned himself in.
He went down there to talk to him.
And they arrested him.
Oh, guys, by the way, this is Henry for those of you that aren't familiar with the case.
Put that fat fucker up there.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. That's the last thing Breasia saw on this earth.
Sad.
Someone that her grandmother brought around, her mother married. Did she marry him? I don't know. Was with, had a child with her, half, her brother's father. Breasia never knew her father. And the father that Aisha put on her birth certificate, she never got a chance to know. So in all reality, that was her dad. In her mind, that was the closest thing to a father figure she had. And that was the last thing she saw.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a video. I don't have it pulled up right now. Aisha said it several times. She kept saying, well, Breasia's a truth teller. She's a truth teller. This is total speculation. I think she was telling her truth to several people. And things went down. He couldn't have her tell any more truth.
Mm-hmm. Because they kept saying, even the cousin, she's a truth teller. She's a truth teller. We lovingly tease her. How do you lovingly tease someone? There's no lovingly in a tease. You can't tease unless it's like between adults. You can't lovingly tease a child for being a truth teller, and they're supposed to tell the truth. They're supposed to. Why are people normalizing you can't snitch or you can't tell if something's wrong?
Maddie, her real father passed away. And on her birth certificate, Breasia Terrell signed it. Then he went to jail. I did kind of a question and answer in the group with him that one day. Remember, Keandra? He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I've spoke to him. He's just about
I've
clout
talked to him
as
on
well.
the phone several times, but I mean, he's just like, he was pretty much alienated from them.
Yeah, but he's also like, at this point, when he said something's wrong, something's up, when they found Breasia's remains, and they announced it, and he was like, something ain't right. He was like, I gotta do something. He should do something. You made a song, you did you came, you're doing everything for Facebook, but you're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. Like, why isn't no what I really don't understand. I don't know if I will ever, because I don't have any kids. And if I had kids, even kids that are close or kids that aren't close, like, I care about kids. I care about people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this hurt me. Like, Aisha used to live with my mom. My mom passed away.
Yeah.
Aisha used to live with my mom. My mom took care of everybody. My mom helped anybody. That fell on me. And to hear that Breasia went missing, I'm just like, if my mom was living, man, like, yo, like, what the hell? Like, all these people know all this stuff that has happened, like abuse, and seen stuff happen to Breasia and the kids, but they'll rather keep a friend than help kids. Like, you'll watch stuff happen, and then when she goes missing, you're trying to tell people, oh, I saw her get a whooping really bad one day, or I saw her older brother pee on her, or something like that. But what did you do about it? Like, this is the whole reason why this situation is happened. Henry was around Aisha's kids, her sister's kids. Henry was around a lot of kids.
He was the father figure.
How do you make a freaking child molester a father figure?
Like I have said before, we've talked about this, for a year. I've said the only credence I will give to Aisha, Andrea, Gemini too, because she took off out west when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Donita, as if they had no idea about his record. If nobody even thought to look it up.
Man, people knew his record.
She was twerking at the club. Then we had the fashion show. I don't have anything pulled up for that. And then,
Lord,
through the fall, it was just more speculation, more theory. Where's Breasia? At this point, it's like she's either got to be being held somewhere. Okay, I don't have it pulled up, but do you remember one of Aisha's first interviews? It's when she was out at the search. And she said, all those people are out there looking because she said, Breasia's in one of these houses around here. And now that the heat's on, they turned her loose. Yep. She's going to be out there somewhere.
Yeah. She said, I know she's in a house. I know. I feel it. She said, and when it gets hot out, when it gets too hot, they're going to put her out. If she is outside in the woods, it's because it got too hot. Yep.
She did start her own GoFundMe. We talked about that, and she made little to no money on that.
Anything is something to her. You see, man, I don't know, man. But then
then the people in the community organized a walk, and I'm going to put that just a little bit of it on right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that was something else. Now, where were you where they were? You were directly
I was right in front of Jersey Meadows, and it was me and a crowd of people, and we were screaming, "Where's Breasia? Someone knows something." And our posters had Breasia all over it, and it said, "Where's Breasia?" Really big, missing child. Aisha's poster had a bunch of pictures of her and Breasia, and it said, "Daughter, mommy tings." And Notorious's poster had Breasia's missing poster on it with her eyes scribbled out.
like he needed to be there.
And they weren't screaming, they weren't saying nothing. They were mad, as you see in that video. They kept saying, "Why look at them down the street, this and this and that." And her brother was like, "That's crazy." If you listen close, and I'm just like, even one of the people that were in the group with her out at the walk, he came on one of my lives, and I was like, "Weren't you, with Aisha after that walk? Didn't you show up at my sister's house?" It was one of the guys. And he was like, "You said she sold her daughter." I said, "No, I didn't. But that doesn't, you were there to scream, 'Where's my baby?' You came to help scream Breasia's name, right?" He said they were watching my live of the walk while they were at the walk. I was like, "Why were you doing that? Why were you watching us? And you were supposed to be screaming with us. We did this for Breasia, nothing else. Nothing else. We wanted people to know she was missing. And you guys choose to resort to violence towards the people that put this together."
Right.
That's wrong. And there's something wrong with that. She did not go to jail for that. The police waited weeks before they even went to look for surveillance. I don't know what's up with that, but she did so many things since July 10th, 2020 that she was supposed to go to jail for. I would have went to jail for her. You would have went to jail for her. And she did not go. She's gotten tickets, no license, no registration, all types of stuff. And she did not
hopefully they don't put people in jail for that. But I mean, the fact that she handed her someone, I want to know who made the decision, who is the custodial parent. And I'm going to loop into this really quick about how CPS failed Breasia badly because there was an accident where she was under the influence and she fled the wreck. She fled the scene.
Left the kids in the car.
Left the kids in the car. From what I heard, the car was still running and she took off running. Like, she's all about herself. She's getting the hell out of there. She's not getting a ticket. CPS was involved and they allowed this to keep going on. Now, I've heard that the kids went to Donita's. So who had guardianship? Was it Aisha or her mother, Donita? Because whoever allowed Breasia to go to Deankin's, but I mean, she'd been with him the whole week, but something went down that night that he decided to kill her. He had some alone time with her during that week that tripped him out when she said she was going to tell. She was going to tell someone.
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden she goes missing. That's what Aisha was saying. She was like, this one random time my daughter goes with him. Now she's missing. She's always been with him. He's always been there. But this one time, and it's like, who? They said Aisha was at work.
But didn't she take 3 days off of work that week and she kind of called in at the last minute? Is she that much of a patriot? She had to have the whole week of 4th of July off?
Exactly. And then during the 4th of July, they said when Breasia showed up at the barbecue, she asked to take a shower, but everyone else is dressed and fresh for the barbecue. Where was she coming from? And a family member confirmed it, that she did ask to take a shower.
Mm-hmm. Is there any chance that you can go to Davenport that week and watch the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Because, like, I want all the notes. I mean, I know eventually it's going to be made public, but I mean, I want all the notes. There's something way more going on here.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they found blood on the axe, he had a machete. People kept asking, why was she found? Like, you know, she was in different places. And they're like, oh, animals. Well, according to Davenport, she was shot. But
where was she shot at, though? Where was she shot at?
Well, we got to loop back around again because remember, Andrea, she had a little issue with the law for a firearm. I mean, I'm just going to make the assumption that's where he got it.
But where on her body did they find a gunshot wound?
That I don't know. We know it wasn't her skull because we've seen pictures of that because the fishermen, you know, decided to take pictures of her remains and spread them around.
Yeah. And none of them pictures did it seem to be a gunshot or a hole anywhere. I didn't see a hole.
Well,
No,
I mean, when they did their investigation, obviously, when they put everything together, they had to have seen she was shot somewhere.
Yeah.
But again, I want to know where this crime happened.
And where's the gun, though? If you're saying what killed her was a gunshot, you're saying you found a machete, but you didn't find a gun. You didn't mention a gun at all in not one article. But back when you arrested Andrea for a gun, you didn't say what kind of bullet shot her either. So that's what I'm waiting on. Let me go to this chat. It only takes one time. God, some people just piss me off. Exactly. It only takes one time.
I'm really hoping that the people in the community, you know, that are following the case, shocked by the case, upset about the case, start reaching out, not so much to the police, but like to local representatives and start asking some serious questions like,
Mm-hmm.
Why is this woman not in jail for endangerment, neglect, or something? I mean,
Okay, so
there could be
I
child
have,
charges on her, or maltreatment. That's through CPS, I'm assuming, in that state. I don't know. There's no
I
death penalty in Iowa. There should be for this.
I sent the petition to the news, the police station. They're not looking into it. I sent it to the aldermen. It's up to 3,000, maybe over 3,000 signatures at this point, from people all around the world. And it's arrest Aisha Langford for child endangerment. Or you should, man, you or your mom. Where is Donita in the first place? Donita wasn't in no interviews, wasn't in nothing. She did one little interview saying that Breasia was a good kid. If she's a good kid and you love her that much, why was she with Henry? You don't send kids with sex offenders. Even the risk of anything happening to her. I don't even want to see a sex offender holding my child's hand. I don't want you speaking to my child. You chose that life. I don't care how many kids you have. When you chose that life, that took you from your kid. You can't be around anyone else's kids. During Halloween, they lock doors to apartments and buildings that sex offenders live in. You can't go near these homes. But why can they watch your kid?
And
The
what about
laws-
the Jersey Meadows apartments? That's Andrea's apartment. Do you think
Exactly.
the landlord and the people around there wanted to know that there was a sex offender hanging out there?
Exactly. And all those restaurants and where kids go to eat and grocery stores and stuff, kids get picked up by bus at that apartment to go to school.
And not to mention, he wasn't I pulled over and I took a piss and just realized I was in a playground sex offender. He did something bad before.
Exactly.
All
To
right,
a family member.
over the weekend, hang on one second. Over the weekend, a few ladies in the community, they did what do you want to call it? A vigil? I guess I'll just call it that. And they had planted a tree for Breasia. There's been some, kind of some shade thrown at some people that are just trying to do something nice. Planting a tree for Breasia, they didn't want to just because to do it, you have to do it through Davenport Parks and Recreation. So for this tree, which looks like a tree, it's a tree. Since it's going into like a city location, it's $500. So they wanted a tree, they wanted a bench. So the idea was to do a GoFundMe. That's how they wanted to pool their money together, so it's transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just everyone sending money to one person, because that one person, you know how people are with money. I don't care if you give them $1 or $5. Eventually, you're going to say, well, where's my money? Nothing's going on. So the lady that organized it, she agreed, and she's a busy person. She didn't have to do all this. But she got the tree and everything like that, and it's finally planted in Davenport. There's been some people that have, like I said, they've thrown a lot of shade, like at Mindy Glade. Mindy paints, rocks and crosses and things like that. What is wrong with that? What's wrong with her making memorials? It's not just for Breasia. She does it for a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very, very nice, empathetic person.
There's a lot of evil in this world, and everyone's not going to be on the same accord. The people that stick out and show that they're evil, those are the people that you don't want to associate with. They will suck all your positive energy out. And there's people that want to be involved in this case that are evil and will try to stir you away from doing good for this case. And they stick out. And if you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you. It's
We've had a woman who claimed to be an advocate for Breasia.
yes.
And some
We
of
had
the sleuths in the group, they started putting a lot of stuff together, making phone calls and sending emails, and put together all kinds of lies from this woman.
She said she worked on the Casey Anthony case.
She said she was in the search and rescue boat and that she found a radiator that she believed to be Breasia, but it was actually just a radiator.
Yeah, she
So
said
one lady in the group screenshotted that and she emailed it to Davenport. She emailed it to them. Not that they're going to get right back with them, but I mean, a lot of people were getting, really ramped up by, these lies and just insanity. So anyway, the girls did a good job getting the tree. They made candles and stuff like that. So I'm going to show a few of these pictures. So hang on. See, they bought the frames and everything, and they did the Remembering Breasia Terrell. They gathered out at the park. I mean, I think it's sad that her family didn't join.
But her family said, oh gosh.
But remember, 2 weeks into the search when Aisha said she didn't want the community's help. Remember that?
They got all them donations for them dinners. And her cousin, Aisha's cousin, said she was donated $3,500. And they got to earn. She said she got to earn. And Key Boosie said she got to earn. So how many earns do you need? And then she said she had like 1,500 left over from getting the earn, and she was going to put on something for the day she went missing this year. And if they didn't show there or do anything in the community, that's messed up because she had a lot of money that she obviously used for herself, because that money was donated for Breasia's, anything they needed to take care of for Breasia. And she said the leftover money she was going to use on July 10th, 2021 for the community. And that's why I say there's a lot of people that are evil that will take advantage of you. That will make, you do it in good heart, don't feel bad you donated money, but it's about what they did with it and what their purpose behind it was. Because I don't know an earn that's $1,500. I've never. My dad
for 5,000. I mean, when you're talking about remains of someone you love, I mean, there's people that, they break the bank. Yeah, they get really expensive.
Yeah, but at the same time, if I'm using the community's money, I'm going to at least post a receipt. I'm going to at least show, where the money went and how much it was. Like, I'm going to let people know they can trust me. I'm not going to say I'm going to use this money for the community and you guys don't even speak to the community.
And I don't know who made this. Let's see. But those are cute candles.
Yeah, that's nice. And then at the Breasia ball, where they had the urn, and played the videos of Breasia, Aisha's little get together, Breasia's name was spelled wrong all over the posters and all over the stuff. Like, I felt that was very disrespectful. Like, that was wrong. You could at least get your daughter's name right.
And if the printing company or whoever did it wrong, I'd have been like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Exactly. I'm not going to post her name spelt wrong
I'm not
all
doing
over social media.
No way. Does anybody want to grab the link and come up and talk?
Please do.
Aggie, Patty, Brandy. Anybody want to come up and say hi?
The link is in the right there.
Maddie, I couldn't afford an urn for my daughter because at the time I fell on hard times, but I was lucky enough to have a friend that was able to make one. No, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. They're not.
But I don't get, this is what I don't get about the urns. If Breasia was shot, why did Aisha have her remains so fast in an urn? And that's evidence.
Well, they released them to her.
But why?
They have done their investigation. They know how she was killed.
Okay. Okay. I felt like, yeah. And then when they found Breasia's, when they found the remains before they knew it was Breasia, they said that they couldn't identify them. Why did they put Breasia's name in the article if they can't identify them? That's what I don't understand.
Now, what do you mean? Because when they found the remains, they wouldn't definitely say it was Breasia. They had to wait until it had been tested in Academy.
Yeah, but they put her name in the article.
Because that's who they figured
it was on the. Yeah, but I still wouldn't have put her name. It could have been anybody. It's a lot of missing kids in Davenport.
Right.
It's a lot of missing people.
I think they know when it's a child, and the people in Clinton called them, and they said, we believe this. I mean, they even called Aisha and said, come out here. That's where they believe. I mean, that was the circle he drove that whole night. So they have access to each other's system.
But then in July, August, September, people were there fishing and all that. And
a lot of people have talked about that, just saying there was so much, weeds and shrubs and things like that. But didn't they have dogs and everything out? They searched it.
Yeah.
Hang on, Brandy's coming up.
Okay.
Hi, girlfriend.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
So yeah, Brandy and I were talking about this the other day about, why are people, throwing stones at people that are trying to do something nice, to put up a memorial, having vigils and things like that?
Because they're evil.
They are. It's like they take affront to it, but they're not out there doing it themselves. That's what I don't understand. They don't want people doing it, but they won't do it either.
That just means they don't want it done.
Exactly.
So that's just weird.
I know, it really is. But this whole thing's been weird. The way Aisha's handled it from the jump has been not right.
Well, and how KT, she made her own post saying, I don't need a GoFundMe to put a tree up or anything like that. Well, then do it.
Right.
Put your money where your mouth is if you're concerned.
But you need. Yeah, she's laughing, telling people not to say mad because Aisha wasn't involved and people didn't get her permission. Out of this whole time, do you think people are gonna want to be in her face asking her about her daughter? And she's attacking people for even trying to put on a walk?
Exactly.
Like, no one's gonna ask her nothing. We're gonna get it done. She's gotten enough donations.
Yep.
Well, and you'd
Man.
be kind of a cruel human being to ask the mother of a missing child, hey, what do you think happened? Were you responsible? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? They might be thinking it, but that's a rude ass thing to do.
Mm-hmm. And you already know what that's gonna turn into.
Oh, Stevie said she heard the urn was empty.
I know. I did too.
What?
I heard it was just a show. It wasn't nothing in it.
Wow. I had not heard that part yet.
Yeah, I've been heard that.
disgusting.
I've been heard that. And then in Kilo Boosie's urn, what's in your urn? So they gave you some of Breasia and you're not family or nothing? What did you go buy an urn for? Because she got donations at the Easter egg hunt and said she used it to go buy an urn. No receipt, no nothing. But they gave you some of Breasia like that. You're stepping on people's toes at this point. You're not her family.
Exactly.
Lowski doesn't even have none of her. But you got some? That's weird to me.
That is weird. I can honestly see her just honestly probably demanding some, to be honest. She's weird.
No,
She's
I
been
don't
weird.
know. You think she is a little duckling. She is not about that life. That is just a front. Demand nothing. That's why she waited until I left Davenport and got me fired from my job. Sent my job screenshots of me at work. While we were scheduling the walk for Breasia, they set me up and got me fired from my job.
God.
Yeah.
Like playing nice to your face and fucking your life behind your back.
And I called her and I was like, do you think I forgot about this? Like, what's up? She blocked me. Like, she's running from me. She don't want to talk to me. So like I said, she is not about that life. Like, I just don't understand how all these people are getting urns and this and this and that. And it's just crazy. I just feel like a lot of people are doing this for publicity, promoting their business. That's
Most definitely.
That's what the main thing was behind the fashion show. The fashion show was scheduled for I believe February or March, one of those 2 months. But she pushed it back to August. Now that is after Breasia went missing. And then you put a tribute on for Breasia, a tribute, but it didn't say one time did anyone say she was missing. Not one shirt said missing. No one had nothing about her being missing. Let's find her. All it was bring Breasia home. That's not enough to make somebody know she's missing.
No, it's not.
Bring Breasia home. That's all the family's saying. Bring her home. Not where is my baby? Where is Breasia? Find Breasia. No. It's bring Breasia home. And it's just weird. Everything is weird. Everything is weird.
Yeah, I agree. It has been.
Look, it's a whole year later. It's a whole year later.
Yeah, how did you guys feel on Saturday realizing that it's been a year? It's been a year since she was murdered. Because, I mean, it either happened on the 9th or early morning on the 10th. Because You know, I woke up and I was just like, wow, I cannot believe it's been a year since Breasia was murdered. It was,
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, we
I
were
can't
all
believe it
super
either.
upset when we found out that the remains were actually hers, even though we kind of knew in our gut, but when it hits your heart, that's totally different.
Oh
It
yeah.
is.
I couldn't even
And
stop crying. Like, it's crazy. And it still feels this, like I still have the same bad feeling in my stomach. Like, I've been feeling this way this whole year. Like, when I think about it, it's just weird. And it actually affected my life.
yeah,
It really did. Like, and it's just crazy. Like, I
it's
dedicated
sad.
a lot of time. A lot of people dedicated a lot of time, and we just wanted to help. Like, I would do this for anybody. And then for the parent to reject the help.
Well, so that's why I just will forever think that Aisha had something to do with it. I can't help
Mhm.
that. She did not react. She still does not act like a parent would.
Well, I'm gonna put this out there. So, KW, Kim Whitaker,
Mm-hmm.
she was speaking to me once. I have the screenshot still. She said that she was talking to Aisha. Mind you, she said that she was Breasia's advocate. So she was with Aisha all the time at the searches. She claimed to always have been around Aisha during the beginning while she was missing.
I'm still waiting on
And
her to sue me. She's been,
yeah, me too. Me
she said
too. A
in
lot of people
October
are.
she was going to sue me. And then she
Well,
messaged other people saying she was going to add them to her lawsuit. We're still
yeah.
waiting.
She said that she was speaking with Aisha once, talking about Casey Anthony and saying she worked on that case. And Aisha was questioning her, asking her whatever happened to Casey, what happened to the mom. Like, that's what her interest was. What
Right.
happened to the mom? And um, Kimberly, she said a lot of stuff that just like kind of makes me look at her like, who the hell are you? Like, who are you?
Kimberly Whitaker.
Yeah, like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, you showed up on the news after all this time. Now you want to show up on the news and say you work for whatever that thing is you work for,
Right.
and you look like trash. Like, you don't look put together at all. You look like a drunk. Like, who are you? Like, why are all these weird, I'm trying not to cuss. Why are all these weird people surrounding this missing, now deceased child? Like,
Right.
y'all are all weird. Like, KT, like, who are you? Like, you're a pimp / drug dealing advocate. Now you post missing kids and you got little baby angels as your cover, your profile picture. That don't rub me right.
No, you're right. I mean, it's not right either.
All of your past boyfriends are deceased. You got all this money, and it's just all weird. Like, the fact that Henry had an RV behind that storage unit and KT lives out of hers as well,
Right.
that don't rub me right.
Well, I worked on the Casey Anthony case myself. I bought every People magazine and I laid my fat ass in bed every night and I watched the coverage on Nancy Grace. So that was my involvement.
Well, that sounds like what hers was too, because she talking about she was on trial
But
with.
no, Jeff Ashcroft never called me. I wasn't down in Florida looking for her. So that's an insane thing to even say. There's one woman in the group that, I mean, she wrote out a dissertation of the lies and the screenshots. And I mean, she called Davenport and they were just like, yeah, we don't care what this one on social media is saying. And she's like, well, no, you need to see this. I
Like,
don't know
for
what
real.
happened with it.
Y'all, I don't understand how you got the FBI and all these people involved to help with this case, but you guys aren't seeing the people intercepting tips. Tips are important. Tips could help find a missing child. Why do you have these trashy people offering money and phone numbers to get information on a missing child that's not even theirs? Like, who are you?
Right.
Like, it's just weird. It just makes you think, what involvement do you have? Because the love you have ain't no love. Because she didn't have no love until she went missing.
Right. Exactly. That is so fucking true.
She didn't have no love. Didn't nobody love on her? It was a video on YouTube Aisha had. Why do you got a YouTube channel named after Breasia a year before all these years before she went missing? All these months before she went missing. It was months. Why is it called The Real Breasia World when you got 3 kids?
Right.
In the video, she wasn't happy. So that's the real Breasia world. She's not happy. She can't go outside. She got to stay in her room while you guys talk about a plan.
Right.
The thing I want to know is, who was that man in that video? That's what I want to know. Like, it was just weird. Everything is just weird, man. And then when I found out it was Aisha's daughter missing, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be some weird stuff if she's not found. If you know her, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Michelle. Aisha got some traffic tickets the day Breasia was found. But also the day before she drove out to the pond, where they found Breasia, she got something for like driving without a license. I mean, not the end of the world. I mean, no one's saying that. Oh, no license, no insurance, no registration. Why didn't she get her license back?
You go to jail for stuff like that, especially if you're a habitual offender. You keep getting pulled over with not having a license and this and this and that, and you were high. I know that you're high in every interview.
Right.
You keep getting a slap on the wrist for everything you do. What is up with that? Do you have a card that says I'm mentally disturbed? And they just keep letting you go?
Right. Or is she a snitch?
That's what I'm saying. What you doing? You get to smoke crack and smoke weed and drive and leave your kids in a car and do all this stuff and still have your kids. There's no faith in the community after this. None. I have no faith in the Quad Cities at all for not a child. Everyone just needs to pack up and leave. Every corner, there's a sex offender. On every corner, and they're not being attended to. Don't nobody know where these people live.
Oh, Michelle said she hasn't had a license since her last DUI and child endangerment. Well, she should have lost those kids with that child endangerment.
I was going to say that. Like, how does she even have her kids?
Exactly.
If CPS had done their job, this would not have happened to Breasia.
No, exactly.
We're covering this case with a woman in New Jersey and her son. I mean, CPS closed all the doors on her. Well, guess what? The man she'd been reporting, he murdered that boy. Where there's smoke, there's fire, people.
They just don't care. Like, this is just, they don't care. They do not care about children.
Because this is story after story after story after story that we see of these children. being done this way.
Years of abuse to
Yep.
death until
Yep.
they die.
Yep.
Beat until they die. I don't care. I don't have to give you no more assistance for this child. Government doesn't care.
Or they can't find a foster home for them. Or
Right.
they would rather have them with the parent so they can continue assistance because the welfare system's a huge moneymaker. Believe it or not. If we got them
You are right about that.
would have gone to jail. Why not her? What makes her so special? Well, I mean, I talked to several people. They weren't really in the Quad City areas. And they said a lot of informants get a slap on the wrist or, you know, they dismiss their charges, but they have to be bringing like big busts to them, big cases.
Right.
I don't see Aisha bringing them any kind of like Whitey Bulger type of stuff, if you know what I mean.
Man, and I at this point I'm starting to feel like she is too, because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. You got to be, because you're involved with a man that not only is a big drug dealer, that means you know his connections. They keep you close to him. They keep him close to the big people. Like, they keep y'all close. But that's why he said that Aisha, I know that's why he said she's not participating, and it'll come out later. Because she's not listening to what they're telling her to do. I don't know. I'm just going to always believe that, because she said it out of her own mouth. She said, I've been listening. You're an informant. You got to stay cool so they can keep you out of jail. They don't want people they don't want us to come asking why she's not in jail. Why do you think I'm not on Facebook no more? Why do you think that I can't even, no, you can't even mention my name? If I make a fake one and I show my face, oh, it's over with. I just made another one. It's been over 30 days. I can't be on Facebook at all. They don't want me to post that petition. I had people in Florida, Alabama, Alaska, everywhere sharing. All that stuff is gone now. All that stuff I did for Breasia is gone. They do not want no awareness on this case. They don't want people looking into it.
Hang on. I'm going to show a clip of Aisha's first interview, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because for the new people in here, I want you to see this. Like Maddie,
right.
Snow.
Okay, orange. Sorry, y'all, I'm making a sandwich.
Out on pavement. But one of the interesting things was I found you at the Scott County Courthouse where you had just met with Henry Earl Dinkins, who's being held on a number of charges, including violating his order to report as a child, as a sex abuse offender. He's believed to have last been with your daughter. And so he asked for a meeting with you this morning. Is that correct?
He originally asked for the meeting yesterday originally, but I mean, my son had questions, you know. They weren't questions that were set up by us, but, you know, they were questions that he had wanted to ask him. But Henry's main focus was more on, where's your mom? And
why can't I hear it?
anger and so much hurt that I got going on inside, and you know, go and see what's going on. See, how do I know? You know, he has something to tell me. Maybe his body language to tell me something. You know, something that may, you know, pop, and you know, he may not know that he's giving me, you know, a leeway for something. But like, I would know it. He wouldn't know it, but I would know it. So I would go in and not show him because I know that he has a soft spot for me. So I mean, I did just that, and you know, he accepted my call, which was, I mean, he accepted the visit, which was crazy. He accepted it in seconds, must I say, and came to the phone pretty quickly and picked it up like, you know, hey baby, you know, and I'm like, no, it's hey Aisha, you know, and we went on, and you know, he went on about talking about numerous other things, and yeah, and
you can't go into the conversation because of legal reasons and things,
Yes.
but clear up for some of our viewers, like, how is Mr. Deankins related to you, or what, how do you know him?
I know Henry. We had a relationship history a couple years. I'm gonna say like 8.5 years back. We were together for about 2.5, 3 years. We were in Mexico, also surfaced, and his weird ways kind of had me step back, and then him being incarcerated all the time kind of definitely had me step back to a lot of things. And we also have an 8-year-old boy together. Notorious mostly Langford. Well, originally Langford is what we're working on.
Okay, all right, well, thank you. And, that leads us into the kind of another question about social media and a lot of the rumors going on. And you told me yesterday on the phone and again today out on the pavement that it's pretty exhausting trying to keep up and deal with everything. Talk a little bit about what you're going through with social media.
What I'm personally going through with social media is that, people are taking the spotlight off of the person that was last seen with her, and they're putting my background up, and they're putting bad words out there, mixing things up as far as the community. Like, it's always one.
No, they're not putting bad words up there. They have questions. They want to know why she allowed her to go with a sex offender.
Mm-hmm. She was mad. That's why she took her social media down.
Do you think I would give a rat's ass what anyone had to say about me or what they drug up if my child's missing?
Well, also during that time, remember she was also putting up her twerking TikToks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she would keep those up for a little bit and then they would be deleted. And then she'd wonder why people were mad on social media.
Mm-mm-mm. It's like she was provoking it. Like, you should already know. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Not only are you at a house party with Breasia on your sweater twerking while she's missing, but you're in the club. They said she was passing out wristbands. Okay, the wristband said bring Bree home. Team Breasia. It didn't say find my daughter, missing baby.
Right.
It wasn't a poster with her missing face on it. Wristbands, bracelets. You're selling them. They were selling them with meals. That's how they got the $3,500.
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm.
Story, and they say bad things, like we did a candlelight to get back to the community that did so well, and the ones that did come out, because a lot of them are looking for stories, and I could have quite a bit of mine, but and those were the ones that did not show up to the candlelight, which was great for me. But the candlelight was to give back and show that we're here, we're not going nowhere, we're going to stand strong as a community until Breasia comes home. And I had so much negativity, like, oh, you're doing it about death and all that type of stuff. And then, like, I got into an altercation with someone on social media, just they're gossiping on a post, and it came to a point where it was just like everyone's calling my phone, and it was just like, what, I'm just gonna take it down, because at this point, I never really liked the Facebook anyway. Snapchat was something that I liked because my daughter liked the filters. I like the filters too, and I like to make everyone else laugh. If the smile count, I'm there. You never know what anyone else is facing and what they're going through. Y'all smiles is what motivates me to do a lot more than what some may think, And I took my Facebook and I took my Snapchat down, and because of the public just they're so bizarre with trying to get a story. They're trying to get hold of something. And like I told them, once we have something, a very good lead, and once everything is pulled together and Bree's home, you guys will get the story that you guys have been looking for. I have no problem with that, but at this moment, it's about a little girl. It's about a 10-year-old Breasia Terrell. And some don't understand that. And some, they say they understand it, but then, they're on the internet, they're just doing the most of it. It hurt me because every time I'm looking at my phone, I couldn't even look at my phone without opening up a Facebook message. I had got over 400 and something friend requests, and many posts that were shared. Some posts that were shared was definitely heartfelt. Some posts that were shared was definitely negative, and I'm pretty sure that one of these days maybe even talked about. You know what I mean? But I mean, y'all, their opinions, you know, it really doesn't matter at this point. And to me, it was more like a shut up type of thing when I took it down. You know, shut up talking to me, and like a lot of them try to talk to me out in public, and it's more like, okay, we're out here. I appreciate you guys, and I love each and every one of them for coming out and investing that much time in helping me find my daughter. But it's more like we're out here for my daughter. You know, all the questioning and why, you know, that shouldn't matter at this moment. You know, because it's still going. Even, you know, as of yesterday, of course, as we're going to roll into that as well. You know, of course, yesterday, that was hectic. Once again, because of social media, I took it down because of this exact reason.
I know that
She said the questioning on why doesn't matter at this point. Yes, it does. At this point, everything matters.
Right. Okay, just me. What did she do with the money? She got her hair done. We know that.
That didn't cost nothing. Them crochets, about a $30 hairdo. That didn't cost nothing.
Oh, okay. What do you just pin them in or something?
Yeah, you just crochet them in, French braid your real hair. That wasn't nothing. That style wasn't nothing. It just stood out only because it was just bright. You know, other than that, that wasn't nothing. That wasn't no $300 hairdo. A little cheap, get put together. It wasn't even put together well, so. Something quick for the fashion show.
Yep. Well, I'm just, you know, hoping that something happens between now and the trial. You know, laws change. I mean, in Tennessee, they have Evelyn's law now because, you know, her mom didn't report her missing for over 30 days. And so her grandfather reported her missing. And she was found, I think, 17 days later in like a storage tub. And so they have Evelyn's law now. Hopefully they have Breasia's law where if you allow your child around a sex offender, you're charged. You're charged with something.
Right.
But why does it take for her to go missing?
Right. I know. It's
Like, I just don't, that's what is so weird to me. Like, it took for Breasia to go missing for them to know that. It's gonna take for us to keep pounding it on them for them to know that.
Yep.
That's called the government. That's called politics. I will never understand why people don't reach out to their local representatives or state representatives or U.S. representatives, their mayor, and ask for these things. I mean, like back in the late 70s, early 80s, like a DUI was really not a big thing. It was kind of a, hey, you've had too much to drink, you know, go on home type of thing. And a group of mothers, you know, got together and they started MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And they got laws put in place to change that shit. They were like, enough of this. You can't let our kids getting killed on these highways and back roads and things like that. That can't happen. So, I mean, it takes a movement.
It really does.
It takes a movement. It takes something bad to happen. Like, we wouldn't have a law unless something bad happened. You know what I'm saying? There would not be a speeding ticket unless someone had ever sped.
But I'm pretty sure this ain't the first time a sex offender's had a child babysitting them and they ended up hurt or dead.
Oh, I agree. But I mean, what kind of noise has been made about it? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, our politicians, the people that are elected, the people that go to work supposedly for us every day, you know, they only take care of what's in front of them. And if people aren't making noise, they won't do anything.
They're going to try to shut up. They're going to try to shut up people too. But you know what? They can't shut us all up. That's what I was trying to tell people on Facebook when I was on there. Everyone just chime, like, if you see me going hard on Breasia, just share it. Share everything. Like, if everyone does it, they can't stop us all. Then what are they going to do? Permanently block all 300 of my friends on Facebook? All 400? Like, they're not going to do that. Like, if we all stick together, stuff, like, if I feel like when it comes to missing children or things that happen that needs to be out there, Facebook is the place to go. You got people chiming in, commenting, sharing, people from all over the world. And
if it's
it could
public,
get in the right
if it's
hand.
private, no one sees it. But law enforcement can see it, but they're not going to go out of their way and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take the time and send all of this stuff to the Attorney General and change the law. Civilians have to do it. Yeah. And it takes something bad to happen. Yeah, common sense shouldn't have to be a law. It shouldn't. We shouldn't have any laws, period. We should know these things. We should know if a speed limit's 45, you don't go 65. We should know you don't kill people. I mean, there's a lot of things that people should know. They don't. That's the reason we have a governing agency. We have government. And it changes every day. There's new laws written every day. Like my last example was, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They got the laws changed. 50 states. They wouldn't stop. So
yeah, they're going
to about like what passion is in your heart and how many people are going to help and do the work. Because you've got two types of people. The ones that are like, I'll make time, and the ones that are like, too busy.
And it's like the fact that there's, a lot of children's death and sex trafficking and all this stuff still going on, and the intelligence that FBI has and all the tracking that they can do to stop this stuff, the fact that they pick and choose what to stop and what to change is just like, it just takes your, like, I have faith, but it really just takes it away, because it's like there's people in the government involved in hurting kids. And some people just don't care about kids. And it's just getting to a point where it's like every day after Breasia went missing, it was a missing kid.
There's missing kids every day. There's Amber Alerts every day.
I know. And I'm just like, when is this going to stop? Like,
the parents aren't going to stop it. The families aren't going to stop it.
People have to stop it.
Happen. The
Everyone has to stick together.
You also can't invade people's privacy. We can't have a government that knocks on every door to make sure your kids are okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the CPS system has got to be totally reformed. For one,
Definitely.
I said last week on another live, I'm like, you should never need CPS. You goddamn animals, you should never need it. You should never have the government come into your home and tell you how to feed your kid, make sure there's heat, make sure your toilet's flush, make sure there's food. So there's an issue there. But for those that have to have, that intervenance, they need to get more involved in what they do. Because look at this Breasia. Was it 2019 when this whole thing happened with Aisha? And there's been other instances I won't mention because they're not verified. That one is. Something should have been done.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, she's dead. And I'm not saying she's dead because of CPS. I'm not saying she's dead because of Aisha. She's definitely dead because of neglect.
Exactly. And this is what I don't get. When that video, like, okay, so that video of her sister doing porn and all that at a truck stop, while she was pregnant, like, that's child abuse on an unborn baby. Like, what are you doing? You're abusing yourself. Like, that just showed that there's some type of something going on in that family. in their
I
mind.
went to Facebook jail for 30 days for sharing that,
Yeah.
even though it was shared publicly.
It was shared publicly a long time ago.
Oh, Stevie, you're right. She's meeting people at the Love's truck stop in Davenport, Iowa. She's pregnant and having sex with people.
Yeah. And this is what she did. That I don't even know if she got paid. Like, what are you doing it? What are you doing it? Why are you doing this?
Of course, she got paid, because if you look at that website she's on, and she's got her hair all tied up in something, and I mean, that website, from what I was sent, yeah, I mean, you meet people in weird locations and you get paid for that.
Yeah, that was a porn site though. He got paid for that video, all the views he got, but whatever she does, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what she did for a living back then.
Right. Oh, Brandy's back. I was just telling everybody about how I got put in Facebook jail for 30 days because I shared those pictures of the aunt that was meeting people at the truck stop in Davenport at the Loves in Davenport, Iowa.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband drives over the road. I know what those truck stops look like. And I was like, yeah, that's a Loves. I got the blue towels, the brown tile. Yeah, that's where she was. Not to mention she tagged herself in it.
Mm-hmm. Poor babies. She don't got all her kids either. Poor babies. Poor babies.
Well, and that's a problem. And we were talking about that in the Summer Wells case, and people were just like, well, you can't help it. They don't have money. Please don't tell me that poor people don't have morals.
Right? Money
I
doesn't
get
have
so
anything
sick
to
of
do
that
with
shit. There's been times like a day before payday, I didn't have 2 dimes to rub together. Get real.
Yep.
Exactly. What do you mean?
Start that. It has nothing to do with that.
She gets help. She gets help. Shit. All them dang on. They get SSI checks, and during the pandemic is when Breasia went missing. They were getting money for their kids. They were getting
they were selling their food stamps.
Yeah, they went to I was told when they made the dinners, they got the food from the pantry.
Word.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. That they went down to the food pantry and they got the food to make the food they sold.
Yep.
Now that's pretty that's an economist right there. That's better than German engineering. I like that.
Make some money off. You don't got to spend nothing.
Yep.
Making money.
Sell your food stamps.
We had an argument in the group about that one day. Somebody asked if they could sell stamps. I thought they meant postage stamps. And I lost my mind when I realized what was going on. It was like an actual auction going on. I'm like, this is illegal. I don't care if you're on food stamps. Not my issue. Not going to judge. Not doing that. But we're not doing that. No.
Telling on yourself.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I don't get. People go straight to Facebook selling stuff, knowing it's illegal, and then be like, oh, there's snitches out here. Yeah, you snitched on yourself.
Yep, snitched on your damn self, idiot.
Man. Knowing their kids are going to be hungry towards the end of the month, they don't care.
Well, because they'll go to the food bank or something like that. I mean, because that was a conversation I had with a few people. I'm like, you're seriously going to sell your food stamps knowing, that you have children. And to be quite honest, those food stamps are theirs.
Man,
Right.
majority of the women that get public assistance, they get it for themselves. They believe that card is theirs. They buy
Yeah, they don't.
other stuff off that card. I feel like people that are on assistance should get welfare checks every month. They should get checked on, see if the kids are straight, see if the kids got full, check on them.
Yeah.
You're just gonna give money and just be like, do right by it? No, check on these kids, check on these people, because
Yes,
the kids aren't being
exactly.
taken care of.
Or do like what happens to me when I go to work, or my husband, they have to have a random, at his job, because he drives a truck, you have a random drug test.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. If I have to have it to keep a job, then, that's how you get your money.
Because shoot, I wish I had $20 rent and over 1,000 food stamps. Oh, food stamps is government money to buy food. Anything that's
and
not
there's
high.
nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with people that have to have rent assistance.
There's
Talking about
nothing
the
wrong with it.
people
I'm just saying
that are doing the bad things with it.
Exactly, and their kids aren't even being taken care of. Don't want the dad there. You got the dad there, that means you don't get the food stamps. If you put the dad on what's it called? Child support, then you'll get him. As long as the dad's living with you and not on child support, you cannot get that assistance. And
Nope.
I'm like I said, I'm not knocking it either, but majority women, they use it the wrong way, and kids aren't being taken care of. And then continue to have kids, but you're already getting assistance for the first 3. And now they're getting neglected.
Gabriel Fernandez. Look at all the money Pearl Fernandez was getting. Her boyfriend was living with her. Okay. He shouldn't have been living there, but he was. When they did his autopsy, they found cat litter in his stomach. That's what they were making him eat. Yet she was getting food stamps.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You're eating steaks, you're eating good, but you got your kid eating cat litter? What type of that case right there broke my heart. And DHS, woo.
I was talking to a woman today who's going through it because, like I said, her son was killed and murdered after she made several complaints to CPS. And she was like, how do we change this? And I'm like, it takes uprising. I mean, I don't mean like going to Washington, D.C. and breaking into Nancy Pelosi's office. I mean, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a network of people to do it. It really takes a lot.
It really does. But with the way the world is now, a lot of people are scared or distracted.
Distracted is what I say.
Yeah, and a lot of people are scared.
Nobody's scared. Trust me, behind a computer, no one's scared, right, Brandy?
Right. Oh God, they got the balls.
That's true too. But a lot of people are, because during this Breasia case, while I'm trying to get word out and all this, a lot of people would say, Keandra, post this. Keandra, do this. Keandra, do that. No, we all need to do it. Like, people don't need to be scared to post something or scared to do this and that. Like you said, you're behind a computer. What can somebody do to you? We just need to stick together. If you stick together, you can't be stopped.
Yep.
Fun fact, Keandra. There was a few ladies in another group that stole Brandy's profile picture and were using it in YouTube chats and saying the craziest things, pretending to be Brandy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody got my picture somewhere doing the same thing.
Right.
That's why I say a lot of people are evil, like for real. Do you know that? Okay, so I admit I made a fake page, right? And I saw Moolah saying she's about to fight somebody or something like that, and people don't know who they're messing with. She's God and blah blah blah. Well, I laughed at the status. Do you know she screenshotted my cover photo? And that was the plan. My page's name was Fook You. The name of it was
my
Fook You.
God.
So she screenshotted it and posted it and said that whoever this is gonna die or go in a coma, car accident. I'm
People
God.
can't laugh react seriously.
I can make this happen. And I'm just like, this lady is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, there's a lot of evil out there. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. All right, so I'm going to start winding this down, and as we get closer and things pop up with the Breasia case, we'll do another live and talk about it. It's sad that more people aren't invested in the Breasia case.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad. I mean, if you look at Summer Wells, I mean, there's like 60,000 people in one group.
Yep.
And I hate that shit.
It really pisses me off. I mean, you can tell.
Sophie Long. You look at Sophie Long. You just mentioned something about Sophie, and they're like flies on a rib roast. They won't stop. They want to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's way more detail and way more things going on with Breasia, but for some reason, it's just too messy for some people.
Yeah.
You mentioned Chris Watts. And I'm telling you what, these women come out of the woodwork they want to talk about. That one I'll never understand.
Nope.
So I'm going to start winding this down. Okay, let me go through the schedule for this week, guys. I haven't scheduled the lives yet. I'll get them scheduled. I'll start working on that today. Tomorrow at 4:00 Central, Colin Scruggs, he's a local reporter in Alabama. Him and his mother are going to be on. Her name's Lori. Wednesday around noon, we're going to do an update on Summer. She hasn't been found. There's no updates from the TBI, but it's just basically her parents' social media. 3 p.m., we're going to cover Corey again. Is that on Wednesday or Thursday? I think I wrote that down wrong. I may have to correct myself on that. Thursday, Lyric Stewart's father, Tony's going to be on about his daughter's murder.
Okay.
So we have some things going on this week. And if everyone could share the live, share the channel, sub, like, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. All righty.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you, everybody.
See you next time.
Thank y'all for having me. See everybody.